I am Kristin Gutierrez, your host for the Women in Localization's Ask the Expert series. And today I am joined by Carrie Fischer. Hey, Carrie.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Thank you for joining us. So why don't you share a little bit about who you are or your background?
Sure. Very briefly, I'm the Globalization Services Manager at Subway, and I've been in localization for over 25 years and really struggled, I think, with confidence and how to be your own cheerleader. So I thought that might be a good topic to discuss for today.
Yes. And so that is what we're here to talk about. Self-advocacy, being your own cheerleader. And so let's start simply with, why is advocating for yourself an important skill to learn?
Because I don't think it really comes naturally to most people, especially women and certain cultures. And it's really a good skill to learn because there's no guarantee that someone else, like a manager, will advocate for you. You want to be able to tell someone, within your company, especially someone in the C-suite, what you do without minimizing yourself or your value. And I think advocating for yourself can help you advance your career, because there might be a case where your manager really isn't quite sure what you do and how to measure you. Right. Sometimes you just have to provide that yourself.
That's cool. So this is great. So is this something that you help other women or other Subway employees with, or in general, is it just something that you're passionate about?
It's something I'm passionate about because I didn't do it for myself. And so I became a mentor with women in localization, and that's what I really push my mentee with. Promote yourself, be confident, go for the stuff that you wouldn't normally go for.
I love it. So how can you advocate? How can somebody watching this advocate for themselves?
Well, let me start by saying what not to do, because I've done it. By saying things like, I'm just in charge of localization, or I know I'm not an executive, but I said that once. I was at a company conference and I wanted to tell a VP that I really enjoyed how she moderated a panel. And I started my sentence with, I know I'm only in charge of localization, and she stopped me there. And she said, whoa, what you are in charge of is important to this company and you play a vital role. Don't minimize your contributions. And that was an eye-opener for me, and kind of the start of my attitude change about how I describe myself and the value I bring to my company. It's really not uncommon for people like me to be given a new boss every year or two. And I have a presentation ready to send to that new boss explaining what globalization is and the importance of my role within the company. Yeah. I also have a slide that shows how much money I've saved the company year over year. So I really want that 1-2 punch, to advocate for yourself and not be left behind.
Yeah, I was going to say, interestingly, in your role with what you do, because localization internally is often an uphill battle. So for one, you've mastered the art of that. You just said you prepare a presentation for your new boss, etc. But then on the other hand of the thing, yes, this is women in localization, ask the expert, but not all of us who need to be advocating for ourselves are in charge of a localization budget. So it is interesting that these kind of is like a parallel. It doesn't matter if you're advocating for yourself and a promotion or a raise or just more responsibility, or for the value of what your job brings to the company.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
So are there skills that you need to build in order to become a better self-advocator?
I think confidence plays a huge role in helping you advocate for yourself. Practicing your elevator speech, which is that 30 seconds of you explaining what you do in front of a mirror. Seeing your expressions and body language is really important. Or use your video phone, your camera on your phone, and pretend to meet someone for the first time. Perfect your tone and your voice moderation so you sound confident when you deliver. And confidence is a learned skill. I've read books about having power over situations that I can control and how to let those work in my favor. And like I said, I volunteer for Women in Localization, which lets me help others. And I find giving back to them also gives me confidence. So, and I accept every invite as to be on a panel or give a presentation, unless I have a conflict. All those experiences help me build up my confidence. And I also read The Confidence Code by Claire Shipman and Katty Kay. Learning about how others have conquered their demons helps me understand my own demons and how to conquer them. Confidence and self-advocacy, easy for me to say, go hand in hand.
I just wrote that book down, The Confidence Code. Thank you.
It's good. It's really interesting.
Are there any other books that you would recommend based on this subject matter?
Before even reading The Confidence Code, I would say read Inward by Young Pueblo. He is a self-empowerment guy, and it's literally pages. There might be 4 lines on a page, but it's all about how to take power over a situation that you think you have no control over. You always have control. And so for me, that was the first step, and learning that, and confidence came.
You mentioned that you are very involved in women in localization, of course, and earlier at the beginning you mentioned that women have a harder time with this than men. Do you have any insights as to why you think, or you say that?
I think it makes women uncomfortable to talk about their wins and their achievements and their accomplishments without coming off as a braggart, or, but there are ways to communicate your value without being boastful, if that is a fear for some women. And there's really nothing more believable to me than being your authentic self. But there's also nothing wrong with wanting to come across more confidently. So yeah, that's where Young Pueblo's book Inward really comes into play. Harnessing your own power and not letting fear hold you back from moving forward. And if you still need some inspiration, like I'm a total superhero nerd. Who is the most powerful mutant in X-Men? Do you know?
I have no idea.
Jean Grey. Who's the most powerful Avenger?
I don't. I am the opposite end of your spectrum. I know Thanos only because of my kids' Legos.
That's right. Who almost beat him? Who almost ripped him apart? Wanda Maximoff, right? Scarlet Witch. And who's the most powerful Justice League member?
You should just
Some might argue Superman, but personally I think it's Wonder Woman. So, find your inner power of confidence, and self-advocacy will come naturally.
This is
I think.
So awesome. Connecting self-advocacy to superhero power. I love it. Your next TED Talk, Carrie Fischer.
We're going to talk about superheroes.
All right. Well, thanks so much for joining me today. This is super great and very insightful. And thank you for the book recommendations.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Any comments for Carrie, please comment below the video, and we'll see where this goes. Okay.
Thank you.
Bye.